Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, checking your bank account, and realizing something terrifying. Your Social Security payment never arrived. No deposit, no warning, just silence. For millions of Americans, that monthly payment isn't just extra income. It's rent money, grocery money, medication money, and peace of mind. It's the difference between stability and stress. And the scary truth is this: there are several situations where those checks can suddenly stop. Many people believe that once you qualify for Social Security, the payments are guaranteed for life. But that's not always the case. There are specific rules, paperwork requirements, and eligibility factors that must continue to be met. If something changes, even something small, your benefits could be paused, reduced, or canceled entirely. And here's what makes it even more concerning. Most people don't realize they've triggered one of these issues until the money disappears. No one plans for that moment. No one expects it. But every year, thousands of Americans experience delayed or canceled payments simply because they didn't know about the rules. Think about your own situation for a second. Maybe you rely on Social Security for a big portion of your monthly income. Maybe your parents or grandparents depend on it. Maybe your spouse receives survivor benefits. Whatever the case, this system affects your household, your financial stability, and your future. That's why this video matters so much, because today we're going to walk through the major reasons Social Security payments can suddenly stop, and some of them might surprise you. These are situations that can affect retirees, disability recipients, and even family members receiving benefits. Some of these reasons involve paperwork. Others involve income limits, residency rules, or life changes that many people overlook. But the most shocking part? Many of these problems are completely preventable once you understand how the system works. So stay with me until the end, because the final reason is one that experts say catches thousands of people off guard every single year. And knowing about it today could help protect your benefits, your family's financial security, and your peace of mind tomorrow. When missing paperwork stops everything. One of the most common reasons Social Security checks suddenly stop has nothing to do with eligibility. It's simply missing paperwork. And this happens far more often than people realize. The Social Security system depends heavily on documentation. Whether you receive retirement benefits, disability payments, or survivor benefits, the agency occasionally requires updated information to confirm that everything in your file is still accurate. This might include identity verification, address confirmation, income reports, or medical documentation in the case of disability. But here's where things get tricky. Sometimes the Social Security Administration sends letters requesting these updates, and those letters get lost, overlooked, or mistaken for junk mail. Weeks pass, the deadline expires, and suddenly, payments stop. Imagine depending on that monthly deposit to cover your rent or your electric bill. Then one day, the money simply doesn't arrive. After hours of phone calls and confusion, you finally discover the reason: a form that was never returned. It might seem like a small administrative detail, but in the world of government benefits, paperwork is everything. Without proper documentation, the system assumes that something may have changed. And until the information is verified, payments can be temporarily suspended. What's important to understand is that this type of cancellation isn't always permanent. In many cases, once the required forms are submitted, benefits can be restored, but the process can take weeks, sometimes even months. During that time, families may struggle to cover essential expenses. That's why financial experts often recommend checking your Social Security correspondence regularly and responding quickly to any requests. Keeping your contact information up to date and creating an online account can also help you stay ahead of potential issues. Because when it comes to Social Security, something as simple as an unopened envelope can turn into a major financial disruption. Working too much after claiming benefits. Many Americans decide to continue working even after they begin receiving Social Security. And for a lot of people, that's a smart move. It keeps income flowing and helps maintain financial independence. But there's one important rule that many beneficiaries don't realize. Earning too much income before reaching full retirement age can affect your benefits. The Social Security system includes something called an earnings limit. If you start collecting retirement benefits before reaching full retirement age and continue working, your income must stay below a certain threshold. If it goes above that limit, a portion of your benefits can be withheld. Now, this doesn't mean you're being punished for working. In fact, those withheld amounts may eventually be recalculated into future benefits once you reach full retirement age. But during the time when the limit is exceeded, your monthly payments can shrink or temporarily stop. And for many people, this comes as a shock. They expected their Social Security payment to remain the same regardless of their job situation. Instead, they suddenly see a smaller deposit or none at all. Let's say you start a part-time job to help cover rising costs like groceries, gas, or healthcare. The extra income feels helpful at first, but if it crosses the annual earnings limit, the Social Security Administration may reduce your payments. For families already managing tight budgets, this unexpected change can create serious stress. Bills don't stop just because a benefit was withheld. The key here is awareness. If you plan to work while collecting benefits before full retirement age, it's crucial to understand the earnings rules and report your income accurately. That way, you can avoid surprises and plan your finances with confidence. Because the goal of Social Security is to provide stability, but only when the rules are understood and followed. Changes in disability status. For Americans receiving disability benefits, Social Security provides a financial lifeline during times when working is difficult or impossible. But unlike retirement benefits, disability payments are based on ongoing medical eligibility. That means the Social Security Administration periodically reviews cases to determine whether a person still qualifies. These reviews are known as continuing disability reviews, and they play a crucial role in maintaining the integrity of the program. During these evaluations, medical records, treatment history, and sometimes additional examinations are used to determine whether a recipient's condition has improved enough to allow them to return to work. If the review concludes that a person's disability no longer meets the required criteria, payments can stop. Now, this process isn't meant to create fear or uncertainty. It's designed to ensure that benefits are directed toward those who truly need them. However, it can still come as a shock for individuals who believed their benefits were permanent. Imagine living with a condition for years, structuring your entire financial life around a disability payment, and then suddenly receiving a letter stating that your case is under review. For many families, that moment brings anxiety and questions about the future. The reality is that medical improvement doesn't always mean someone is fully capable of returning to work immediately. But if documentation isn't updated, or if medical records don't clearly show ongoing limitations, the system may interpret the situation differently. That's why disability experts often recommend maintaining detailed medical records, attending all appointments, and responding promptly to any review notices. Because in the world of Social Security disability benefits, documentation is what protects your financial stability. Moving to certain countries. Another reason Social Security checks can stop is something that many retirees dream about: moving abroad. The idea of enjoying retirement in another country can sound appealing. Lower living costs, warmer climates, and new experiences often attract Americans looking for a fresh chapter. But Social Security rules about international payments are more complicated than many people realize. While the United States allows benefits to be sent to many countries around the world, there are certain locations where payments cannot be delivered due to legal restrictions, banking limitations, or international agreements. In those situations, payments may be suspended until the beneficiary returns to an eligible country. Even when payments are allowed overseas, recipients often need to complete periodic verification forms confirming that they are still eligible and alive. If those forms are not returned, payments may stop. For retirees who move abroad without fully understanding these requirements, the consequences can be frustrating and financially disruptive. Imagine planning your retirement in another country only to discover that your primary source of income has been interrupted. The good news is that many of these problems can be avoided with proper planning. Before relocating, it's important to check Social Security's international payment rules and understand the reporting requirements, because retirement should be about enjoying life, not worrying about whether your next benefit check will arrive. Fraud investigations and identity issues. Identity theft has become a major issue in today's digital world, and unfortunately, government benefit programs are not immune. When the Social Security Administration detects suspicious activity involving a beneficiary's account, it may temporarily stop payments while investigating. This can happen if someone attempts to redirect deposits, changes personal information without authorization, or if unusual transactions raise red flags within the system. From a security perspective, these investigations are necessary. They help protect billions of dollars in taxpayer-funded benefits from fraud. But for the person receiving the payments, the sudden halt can feel alarming. Imagine logging into your bank account expecting to see your monthly benefit, only to find nothing there. After contacting the agency, you discover that your account has been flagged for verification. In many cases, the issue can be resolved once identity is confirmed, but during the investigation period, payments may remain paused. That's why cybersecurity experts recommend protecting your social security information carefully. Avoid sharing personal details online, monitor your accounts regularly, and report suspicious activity immediately. Because when identity theft enters the picture, protecting your benefits becomes a race against time. Failure to report life changes. Social security payments are tied to specific personal circumstances. If those circumstances change and the updates aren't reported, it can affect eligibility. Examples include marriage, divorce, changes in household income, or changes in living arrangements for certain benefit programs. For instance, some benefits are calculated based on marital status or household income. If those factors change and the information isn't updated, the system may eventually detect the discrepancy and stop payments while the case is reviewed. Often, these situations aren't intentional. People simply don't realize that certain life events must be reported. But when the system identifies unreported changes, it may temporarily suspend benefits until everything is verified. The takeaway is simple. Keeping your records updated helps protect your payments and prevents unnecessary disruptions. Overpayments and benefit adjustments. Another surprising reason Social Security checks may stop involves overpayments. Sometimes the system accidentally sends a beneficiary more money than they were supposed to receive. When that happens, the agency eventually notices the error and begins the process of recovering the excess amount. In certain situations, that recovery can involve withholding future payments until the balance is repaid. For people who rely heavily on their monthly benefits, this situation can create major financial strain. Imagine receiving a letter stating that you were overpaid thousands of dollars years ago, even though you had no idea at the time. Suddenly, future checks may be reduced or temporarily stopped as the system corrects the mistake. The good news is that beneficiaries can often appeal overpayment decisions or request repayment plans, but the process requires attention and quick action. Understanding your benefit statements and reviewing them regularly can help catch potential issues before they grow into major problems. Administrative delays and system errors. Despite being one of the largest government programs in the country, the Social Security system is still managed by people and technology, and sometimes mistakes happen. Administrative delays, outdated records, or system errors can occasionally interrupt payments. While these cases are less common, they do occur, and when they do, they can leave beneficiaries scrambling for answers. Phone lines may be busy, appointments may take weeks, and resolving the issue can feel frustrating. That's why financial advisors often recommend maintaining an emergency fund if possible, even for retirees. Having a small cushion can help bridge the gap if a payment is delayed, because sometimes the issue isn't eligibility. It's simply the complexity of a massive national program. The most important thing you can do right now. After hearing all of these reasons, you might be wondering something important. What can you actually do to protect your benefits? The answer begins with awareness. Social Security remains one of the most important financial programs in the United States. It supports millions of retirees, people with disabilities, and surviving family members every month. For many households, it's the backbone of financial stability. But as we've seen today, those payments depend on staying informed, keeping records updated, and understanding the rules that govern the system. Check your statements, respond to official notices, protect your identity information, and when life changes happen, report them as soon as possible. Because the truth is, Social Security isn't just a government program, it's part of your financial future. And staying informed today could mean protecting your income, your family, and your peace of mind tomorrow. If this video helped you understand the system a little better, make sure you stay connected for future updates. Because the rules around Social Security continue to evolve, and knowing what's coming next could make a real difference for your wallet and your retirement security.